Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. My name is John F. Thomas. I'm one of the newest Fly Nubian Kings here, and I'd like to welcome you to the Fly Nubian King Network. If you're just now tuning in, just make sure that you hit the like button. That really helps us a lot so that our videos can be seen throughout the YouTube verse so that everybody can see it. So please make sure that you like, subscribe to our FlyNubianKingTV.com, our growing network for men. So make sure you also subscribe to FlyNubianKingTV.com. Make sure you do that. So what I'd like to talk with you all today about is this thing that a lot of people have been asking me over the years, because I'm originally from Tennessee, but now I live in Los Angeles, California, and it's been an adjustment, but it's been a trial because I know a lot of people have been asking me, especially lately, how did you make it from Tennessee to California? How did you do it? And I know it probably seems like kind of an anomaly, like, wow, that's crazy. Because for a lot of people back in Tennessee, that might be all they know. Or if you're from a small hometown, that's all you know. But there was a lot of work that went into that. But I want to break all of that down into very easy, simple steps. So for everybody that's tuning in, just want to let you know that I am talking about a topic on that I've been asked about. Basically, and the topic is how to succeed against all odds. So when all odds are against you, how are you going to succeed against that? So I've broken down into easy steps. For the first step, I wanted to just lay out to you. So I broke it down into basically an acronym. It's called growth. GROWTH, growth. So I broke it down so it can be a little easy for you all at home to figure out how this worked for me. So, but before I get into that, actually, I just want to talk about, so I'm from Tennessee, and a lot of growing up, it was more so about, getting a stable job, becoming a doctor, a lawyer, or something like that, engineer, and to try to veer away from pursuing the entertainment career, basically. And it was out of love. It was just to more so kind of protect me, and I can understand and respect that. But I pursued it anyway. As you can see, I'm out here in LA pursuing the acting career, and it's going pretty well. But I wanted to also help others who are feeling lost and not really sure on how to go forth in their career, how to even go after their career. So I'm taking the time out to help with that. Growing up in Tennessee, there's music there. You have Nashville and you have Memphis. Nashville is the country music capital. Memphis is known for blues. And then across the way, a neighbor of sorts, you have Atlanta, Georgia. So Atlanta has been popping for music, and now lately acting. Same thing with Nashville. They've been, popping off with the show Nashville. So, but when I was there, that stuff wasn't really happening. Atlanta they did have Tyler Perry Studios and things like that, but for what I was trying to do, I was trying to pursue the acting career. And I had an uncle before that was trying to pursue acting, and I've heard about other people who have done it, but they didn't succeed. So it's always those stories, I feel as though, in a sense, to try to dissuade you or discourage you from pursuing something that is risky. But, like I said, the way I looked at it was, if you really try hard enough, and that's a message where we kept getting as kids when you watch these movies, if you try hard enough, you can make it. You can make something happen. So that's what I was trying to do, trying to make something happen, despite all the odds, despite what the statistics are. Not a lot of people make it. So many people try to, and I kept hearing this, so many people try to do what you're doing, and they fail. And that's really discouraging. It's really, really, really discouraging. But some stuff you have to know what to tune out and what to tune in to. So, and that's going to be on one of my steps too, where I'm going to be explaining that. But it was mostly, if you're not a doctor, if you're not, a teacher or something like that, then basically you're just chasing a dream. And there's people that happen to move back to Tennessee that didn't make it. And I knew some people that went out to California, LA, and they moved out here, tried to pursue the television industry on the, behind the camera. didn't make it, came back, and others who tried to, pursue in front of the camera or pursue music and didn't work out and they came back. But what I did, and that's another thing that's in the steps too, but I just kept, going anyway, kept doing what I needed to do. So I'm going to go into the first step of what helped me get to where I am now. And I'm still utilizing those steps, still doing it because it's just another level. Just take that and apply it to a different level. So step number one is starts with the G in the growth. That is setting a goal for yourself, setting a plan for yourself. If you don't have a goal or a plan, then what are you doing? And for those who are just kind of like, well, I don't really know what to do, I have all these different ideas, that's fine too. But what moves you the most, I guess, in a sense, or what's kind of most logical for you to start at, whatever that may be, start there. And then you can always add stuff on later, but start wherever it makes sense. Because initially for me, it was music. Music made sense to me. And I had a degree in audio engineering. So I know just most people come out and they pursue music. Everybody's kind of doing the same thing. How can I support myself in a sense? So I set up a goal for myself and I was like, I'm going to use my audio engineering degree, whether that's to get a job in the audio engineering field, trying to get an internship at DreamWorks or wherever or something, So I was like, I'm going to set a goal for myself. I'm going to move to LA. Main goal is to move to LA and stay out there. But then I had all these miniature goals underneath. But I set my goal. I'm going to go to LA. I'm going to make it happen. So that was the first step. That was my goal. Other people, they have an idea like I want to be, I don't know whether it's a fashion designer or I want to be a real estate, person. I want to get into real estate. Or whatever, it's like set your goal. Once you have your goal, you have something to aim towards. Because if you don't have a goal, you're just out here aimless. Like, you're just waking up and going to sleep. Kind of like for what? With no real drive, with nothing to really strive towards. So I suggest that you lay out a goal, whatever it may be. You don't have to break it all down just yet. What's your goal? Just what is your goal? This is outside of entertainment. This doesn't have to do with entertainment. This is with anything. If you want to be an astronaut, what's your goal? Okay, I want to be an astronaut. Great. That's your goal. Your goal and your plan is to be an astronaut. Okay, so for going into the next step is like how we're basically going to get there. So the next step is to, and not just to go after it, but to, in the R, in the growth. So we have a goal, which is in the G. R is research. So you need to research and study your field. That's the second step. Research and study. Because if you're not doing that, then you're setting yourself up for failure. Because basically you're jumping into an industry, no matter what it's in, and you don't really know what you're prepping yourself for. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. And also it's a smart thing I've learned also as well as I was pursuing an entertainment career. It's a pretty savvy thing that they have you do. If you're trying to create your business or whatever it is that you're trying to do, try to write out whatever the business is. So let's say somebody's trying to be like Beyonce. Example, Beyonce is the greatest. And always aim for the highest thing. So you have Beyonce. She's Queen Bee right now. She's at the top of her game. She has she constantly works. She works hard. She makes sure her routines are on point. Vocals are on point. Background singers on point. All this other stuff. All the stuff that Beyonce, just boom, 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 boom. So many bullet points, or just what it is that she offers. So something like that. And you put that up, and that's your competition. That's your competition. And then you put yourself up. It's like, okay, what do I offer? How can I make myself stand out from what they offer? And it also helps you to try to match what they offer. So also when you're looking at these people who you're competing against, they may seem so far away and so distant from you that it's just like, man, I don't even know if I can, do that. I don't have the money to do that. That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to be there as long as you're trying to put out quality and you care about what you're doing. That's what matters. So But make sure you definitely do your research. Also, what I was doing, me and my best friend Ellis, we were going to LA. So a thing that I was doing in my research side was to see what it was like living in LA. Like, how much does it cost to live in an apartment complex? I don't know anybody that lives in LA. At that time, I didn't know anyone. So we went online and we went through, I think, what is it, West Side Rentals. I believe that's the name of the website. And the sucky part about that is just LA in general, you have to pay in order to find out how much they're charging for these units at these apartment that they're renting out. Which in Tennessee, it was just like you just call or you look online or whatever, and they tell you, you don't have to pay anything, so that was the sucky part. It's like, crap, man. So now that's money that I have to have in order to, just get to where I'm trying to be. I have to pay to get information. It's a cost that I had to eat, and that's fine. It wasn't like a crazy cost, but it was just like, dang, man, really? But it is what it is. That's where I'm trying to go. I got to play the game. So I did the research on that. Also did research on people that went out there to LA and came back, because they ultimately, just kind of like what someone else was telling me, that people, go after these careers and they fail. I only listened to a little bit of that. And I just looked at, okay, what people did before me, because I looked at how people succeeded, of course, because there's plenty of people that succeed, and there's also people that fail. So there's a lesson in everything. You can learn from a person who succeeds, and you can learn from a person who fails. So that goes into the research and study. So I looked and I talked with them. I was like, hey, man, so what happened when you went out there? Oh, man, I was out there for like, a few weeks or whatever, and blah, 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 did this and did that. Long story short, they came out here without a real definite plan. They just went off of this goal that they had, the first step, which was G. And they just went after the dreams, didn't really have much else planned outside of that. Didn't research and study, and then had to come back. So I researched and studied on that, got some information off of them. So it's like, yeah, man, it was just really expensive, and I had to come back. Okay, so that's the first thing. It's really expensive, what I learned in my studies. LA is really expensive. You can pursue your craft, but the bills and the cost of living is going to catch up to you. So I was like, all right, cool. So it'd be best if I had a job that I would have something already ready when I get out there. And that's what I was that's what I was working on too. Just like, I need to have something available in order to do that. So I talked to this other person who went out there, and they were trying to just immediately they were only going after the job in their field when they came out here. So this is the next step of the research and study. So I'll talk with them. I already got the first, it's very expensive. I already got that down from this person. Second person, I was talking with them, and they were basically telling me that, yeah, I was there for like about 2 months. And my last week that I was there, because I was like, oh crap, I haven't gotten anything off of these jobs that I was looking for. I need something. So they just started looking for any job at that point. And basically they only had like, I think it was either a week or 2 weeks left. They were looking for any job. They didn't get any bites back, and they had to move back. So they gave me some insight on that too, where it's just like, okay, like, yeah, it's cool to look for your job when you're out there, but if you know it's going to be tough, and in your field it's already really tough, be ready to look for any job when I come out there. So what I did with that, from the research and studying, I was looking for jobs ahead of time that wasn't even relating to my field. And I think I went and because I was substitute teaching in Memphis, Tennessee. So I was like, okay, I know I can do that. What do I need to do in order to do that? Because I'm cool with substitute teaching. That's not a bad thing. And you get good money, decent money. So I looked into that, figured out I had to take some tests. I couldn't just come out and say, hey, I'm a substitute teacher from Tennessee. Like California has its, or Los Angeles has its own set of laws separate from Memphis. So I had to take this test. I think the CSAT is what it was called. I don't entirely remember. So since Ellis and I were coming out to do some more research, we were coming to actually look at some places from their website that we had to pay to figure out how much some apartment complexes cost and to look inside of them. So we were coming out here anyway. We, saved up some money, got a flight out, was looking at the apartments. And while I was out here, I already scheduled a test so I can take that test to pass to be a substitute teacher. So I took the test, and there was one of the research and studies. So I get that out the way. It's like a seed planted, so that way I can have an option when I come back. And so I did that. Oh, and also before I continue any further, for those who are listening to stuff, if you haven't yet, just please make sure that you like this video. Like. This is probably some information that some people can really use going towards their career, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be entertainment. And also make sure that you do subscribe to FlyNubianKingsTV.com. Also, just make sure that you're sharing this video so that people can see this. Make sure you subscribe to this channel because we need more of you to help us grow, to get more information like this, more videos, more things that can help people actually get out of a situation that they feel like they're stuck in. So anyway, going back, I took the test, came back, and I was just listening to see, and I was also doing research on other people who have, come out here saying like, oh, it was hard, I did this and I did that, but now I made it. So I looked at the people who failed, learned from them, learned what not to do, the stuff that they did, and then I also was looking at the people who did make it, just to see what they did, as to why they succeeded. So I was doing all of that. And those are the first two steps in my plan of the growth setup that I have here. So step 3 was basically, I think I kind of tiptoed into that anyway. Create and organize. Organize is the O in growth, your steps to ensure that they happen and that you're accomplishing them. So one of my steps was to set myself up for success, is to go out there and take that test. So that way, when I actually do come out there, when I actually fly out and move into my apartment complex, I already have the information saying that you passed, you can be a substitute teacher. And luckily, because I was nervous about this test, I got the information back, I passed. So it's like, yes, I have a job option available for me. I don't have to sit there and look around and be looking crazy. I have a job option. Boom, job option right there. But I didn't stop there. I made sure I went to the job that I was working at, because I was working at FedEx at the time. And FedEx is all over the U.S. So I was telling them, I was like, hey, is there a way, do they have any openings in L.A.? And they were already talking about that before anyway. Like, hey, if you want to move somewhere, or either move up or move somewhere else, if you plan on moving, you can still stay with the company. So I was like, great. So I looked and I applied for a position. The same, actually, I had to drop down a position, and that sucked. But it was just like, hey, look, beggars can't be choosers. If I'm really trying to do this, I'm kind of dropping down in pay and in position, because I was a material handler at that point, but I had to drop down to a handler. And it was just like, man, to go from handler to material handler, that was the upgrade. It's like, I ain't trying to be a handler anymore, but I had to put my pride to the side and just like, you know what? All right, if this is what I'm really trying to do, I'm going to have to take the handler position. Because guess what? I don't have to be there forever. This is temporary. It's all temporary to get to where I'm trying to go. And that's the thing. Sometimes you got to tell yourself, even stuff you don't really want to do, it's only temporary. It's not going to be forever. I'm doing this to get to where I'm trying to go. And that's what matters. So, and that's what I did. I submitted for that. I think I was talking to this one guy. I met some dude on a plane that was telling me when I was coming back from LA, I believe, from looking at apartments. And even with that, with the research stuff, we found an apartment. We're like, okay, we want this. We're going to be back. We got the money and we're going to pay. So the guy was, all right, cool. I'll let you know if it's available. All right, great. Hopefully it's available. But anyway, I was talking to this guy on the plane on the way back, and he was telling me about this other job he works at. He was like, oh, I work at this place. Maybe you can look and you can work there too. He actually gave me some slightly wrong information, because the place he was telling me that I could work was only women can work there. It was under the Abercrombie & Fitch umbrella. I forgot the name of the brand, but it was just like women's undergarments or whatever, stuff like that. But long story short, once I finally did go to LA, move to LA, and I was working out there, I was like, man, I need to get out of this and I was looking for another job. And I remember what the dude told me. So I reached out and I was like, hey, I'm looking for this. I'm like, no, we don't hire men for that. It was like, oh, but do you have a degree? I was like, yeah, I have a degree. It's like, oh, we can come and interview you for this job, as a manager. And I was like, whoa, as a manager, I wasn't expecting that. But that's just another part in the doing the research, grabbing information from what people are telling you, or for any information you can get, and just stockpiling it so you can use it later. That's a study and research part. And that was into my all organizing, just because my thing has always been, and this has been kind of like my mantra for life. If plan A doesn't work, then there's plan B. Plan B doesn't work, there's plan C. There's a whole lot of alphabets in that letter. I'll figure out some kind of way to do what I'm trying to do. Like, there's no way you're going to tell me no, and this is really what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to do this other stuff. I want to do this. So I'm going to go through all these letters because I'm going to figure out some kind of way to make it happen. I don't want to take no for an answer. If I can't go through the front door, I'll go through the side door. If I can't go through the side door, I'll go through the window. If I can't go through the window, I'll go through the back door. There's other ways to get inside, so to get to where you're trying to go. Mainly is what I'm trying to say. So so make sure you're creating and organizing your steps, and also with organizing your steps, another thing that comes with that is for you to, let me see, I'm looking at my notes on my phone now also. So the big thing is that LA is expensive, even to move there, to get the U-Haul truck, all this other stuff. So I had to have some extra money, and so, which is what I didn't have. So I was sitting there thinking like, okay, I got this job at FedEx. It gives me benefits and stuff like that. I need some extra money. So like I said, I was substitute teaching too. So I started doing that, and there was just extra money because I didn't really even need that money. There was extra money, and I was just putting that money aside. And then I was like, okay, I still need some more money because I need to have in the thousands in order to go out to LA. And so I ended up I really wanted this job at Fox, and I didn't think Fox News. I know Fox 13 News in Memphis. I know what y'all think of Fox News. It wasn't the main Fox that you see on TV. It's just one of those city stations, that is under the Fox umbrella. So I was like, man, I want to use my degree, and I'll use it at this news station. I'll figure out some kind of way to get in, to have this on my resume, so that way I can get to where I'm trying to go. Still planning for the future in so many other ways. Research and study, organizing, trying to make sure, okay, this goes to that, this goes to that. Planting seeds, basically. And so I ended up, surprisingly, because I didn't even think I got it, they called me in and they offered me the job. I was working as a cameraman and an audio engineer. Now, mind you, I was doing that, and I was working at FedEx, and I was substitute teaching. So there's 3 jobs. And then eventually I ended up getting another job where I was a camera operator, because I had camera operating experience now at Fox News stations. I got another job as a camera operator at the Redbird Stadium in Memphis. So there was something else where it's just like I was working like 4 jobs at once. And you talking about tired? I was tired. I wasn't even tired. I wasn't tired. I was tired. I was tired. I got to go back to the Southern dialect, man. I was tired, man. I was so exhausted. Literally, I was so dead to the world that I was falling asleep standing up. And this is while I was working at FedEx. I was working on heavy machinery, man. I remember one time I fell asleep working on something. People were like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I was like, I kind of like woke up, and I was like, wait, what? I thought I killed somebody. This is a very transparent moment that I'm telling you. Luckily, no one was hurt. But after seeing that, I was like, man, you know what? I said, hey, talking to one of my coworkers, like, hey, man, look, you got to work this machine. I can't. I'm going to hurt somebody. I don't want to do that. So but I was getting all of this money in, basically, ultimately what I'm saying. And I had to sacrifice sleep for my goal. And I love to sleep. I really don't like being tired. All the stuff that I hate, that I really try to avoid, which is energy drinks. I try to avoid energy drinks. I try to avoid coffee. I was drinking all this stuff just to stay awake. And even that got to a point where it wasn't even working anymore. I was trying to catch a nap anywhere I could. Even when I was substitute teaching at a school, had my lunch break. Instead of eating, I just slept. I just went to sleep. Sometimes in the classroom, sometimes I go to my car and sleep. Since it was so hot and humid in Tennessee, I couldn't really do that a lot. But I would just sleep in the classroom. I turned all the lights off so the people wouldn't come in and bother me and talk to me because other teachers would try to talk to me. But, I was focused, and that's the thing that I was trying to do. I was like, okay, I got to follow through these steps. I got to make sure I'm hitting my goals, my miniature goals, to ultimately get to where I'm trying to go. And, that's ultimately what I was trying to do. And I was doing it. And another thing, I stopped going out as much. This is like another thing under the organize and create these steps. I had to stop going out as much as I wanted to. Because people were, hey, let's go do this, let's go do that. Either I had to get some sleep and I couldn't, or it was just like, man, I can't be spending all this money, man. I got to make sure I have this money saved up. So that way, I'm in Los Angeles, because a lot of people send it, man, you really going out there? You going? Okay, we'll see. And all these other people came back. I was trying to make sure I wasn't going to come back. I want to come back to visit, but not come back defeated, not come back because I couldn't make it. So it's just like, okay, I did my research, I studied, see what they did. I had checks coming in from jobs that I wasn't even using. The checks were just going straight into my savings account. It was just, I would get like $300, $400 check. And I was like, put it in my savings account. My savings account was jumping out the frame. You know what I'm saying? My savings account was going cuckoo, and I've never seen, that was a good thing out of it. Even though I hated being that exhausted, I literally hated it. But I was like, man, I got all this money saved up. And it was just like, wow, like I'm actually doing it. And so that's something that I definitely advise, you all to, take into account. Push yourself to start doing these things. And then you'll even be surprised at like, hey, I'm actually doing it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely keep going after that. So that was the third step. The fourth step, this is an important step, is follow through, don't quit. Be tenacious. Tenacious is the T in the growth. So we're almost at the end of the growth concept. You got to be tenacious. So, and when I say with that, what I say with this, because people are going to are basically going to try to get you to quit, because because of what they experience. I haven't seen anybody do this, so you shouldn't do it. I don't think it's going to work. You're not going to have a lot of help, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I was just like, man, you know what? No, I have to keep going. And it gets kind of depressing, but here and there, or you get tired and you want to quit. Like with the jobs that I was working, people will test you when you start, and this is so true. When you start doing something, when you start working in your purpose of whatever you're really trying to do, especially when you're trying to do something positive, when you start working in your purpose, and I'm going to take from the gospel, basically in the sense of the Christian, it's like the enemy tries to move in to discourage you, to try to dismantle you, to try to throw you off your track. Because at least with two of my jobs, there was plenty of times where somebody came up and said something. And because I had this money, and when you have another job, you're like, I don't need this, man. I'm gonna quit. I quit. I'm not gonna have somebody talk to me like they crazy. And you're already tired. You're stressed to the limit. And as soon as somebody says something crazy, you're just like, you know what? I don't even need this, man. Like, I don't need this job. Because that happens when you only have one job, where you're just like, man, forget it. Like, I quit. I'm out of here. Sorry, 1 second. So when you have multiple jobs, and somebody at your one job is talking crazy, you're just like, I don't need this. Man, I'm out of here. Bye. Good luck doing it on your own. How about that? So that's how I was feeling a lot of times, where it's just like, you know what? I don't need this. Or people would know that you're doing a lot and they still try to give you a hard time. And it's just like, I'm really doing a lot to be here right now. And I'm doing a lot to be here. And you need me here. And you're still giving me a hard time. You're giving me hell. Why? Like, honestly, I don't need this job. And it's real easy to back out from their point. It's real easy to just be like, you know what, bye, I'm out of here. I got enough money saved up, I'm good. But, you know, I had to really pull myself aside a few times and just like, you know, the easy thing to do is to quit. The hard thing to do is to keep going. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep going. Unless like somebody just really disrespects me or tries to slap me or something, call me out my name. That's a completely different story. I'm not gonna be there. And at that point, but certain stuff you can deal with, even though you don't want to deal with it. But it is what it is. So it's like, man, I'm almost there. Because I said, going back to the goal, I set a miniature goal, like in the, you know, organizing my steps and everything. I was like, I want to save up to nine. Actually, I think I said I wanted to save $6,000. I wanted to save $6,000. At the end of it all, I saved up to $9,000. Even though I know you're probably like, whoa, I saved $9,000. So I beat my goal of what I was trying to save. And that was amazing. Also, just pause right here. Just make sure that everybody likes this video. Make sure that you like it. Please make sure that you like it. Make sure that you share this. Also, make sure that you subscribe. And for any women who are watching this, make sure that you subscribe to FlyNubianQueen.com, the network for melanated women like yourselves. Just wanted to just touch on that before I get back to the main topic at hand. So yeah, it was crazy because I was just like, man, you know, I was saving up a lot of money just from doing all of that. And towards the end, honestly, I really wanted to quit one of those jobs because it was just like, I'm so tired. I just want some sleep. Like, I can't keep doing this. And it was like the little devil was right here. And it was like, dude, just quit. Just like, you got money, quit. Just don't worry about it. You know, I was talking to him, but the other one was like, the angel, it was hard to hear him. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was real hard to hear him because after a while, it seemed like he was talking gibberish. He was just like, man, look, you're almost there. Almost. You got 3 more months. 3 more months, you're almost there. And I was sitting there thinking like, man, I deserve better than this. It was like a 3-way conversation. The angel, the devil, myself. And I kept going. Actually, I did. I ain't even gonna lie. I quit my job. I put in my 2 weeks to quit one of my jobs because they were on some stuff. It got to the point where it's just like, I'm not working in these conditions. Y'all really aren't respecting me. They were trying to force me to choose, in a sense. I guess between that job and I think my FedEx job. Even though I liked working at that job more, they weren't paying me nowhere near enough that the FedEx job was paying me. So I was just like, you know, if all this just happened to hit the fan, the job that helps me pay my bills and where I can get my food and all this other stuff is a FedEx job. So even though I don't really like being there, they're paying my bills. So I was like, man, I would like to stay with y'all, but 1, y'all aren't paying enough. 2, you're giving me crap for nothing. Like, you want me to quit this other job so I can, and they already knew what the situation was. Basically, that's what they knew what the situation was. It was like, hey, I'm coming from my FedEx job to come here. I might be a few minutes late, just so you know. Is that cool? They said, okay, 2 months ago. 2 months later, all of a sudden now it's a problem. Yeah, you can't be doing that. You can't, like, you said it was okay. So at that point, I was like, hey, okay, look, if you can't honor what you said, then I'm sorry, I'm going to have to quit. And that's why I almost quit that job. But on the last day, basically came up to my supervisor, the same one that basically reneged on what he said, came and was like, okay, I don't want you to go. I want you to stay. I'm like, will you stay? And I was just like, sitting there thinking like, really? Like, this is crazy. So I told him, I was like, yeah, I'll stay. I'm like, I don't want to go. I said, but you know, like this is what's going on. Like, sometimes I might be late. It's not because I want to be late. It's because I'm coming from my job. Sometimes they might hold me over later, but I'll be here regardless. And so he was like, all right, cool. And sometimes you have to go through that. You know, it's like crazy, all that stuff and all that stress, because I felt like, man, I'm going to be losing this money, and I don't want to quit working here. I really like this place. I was trying to leave from Fox to move over to the Fox in L.A., and I was like, that's messing that plan up, and just in case I could transition over there. So it was a lot, man. But regardless, going back to the fifth step is be tenacious. Actually, that's not the fifth step. That was the fourth step. If I said fifth step, I'm sorry. It was the fourth step. I think I said fourth step. but actually, I think I ended up I skipped the W. But anyway, regardless, let me see. Let me just make sure I'm looking at everything right on my notes. Sorry about that. But well, anyway, you get the main point. I'm gonna go on to step 5. I'm gonna just move over to step 5. In H, and that's the H in growth. And that's to be watchful of what you intake and hear. So be sure to, because like I said, it's gonna be a lot of negativity. Oh, I know what the W stood for: will, and that tied in with tenacious. Sorry. Okay, so the W stood for will. So have to have a strong will. Have a strong will is actually step number 4. Step number 4 is to actually have a strong will. Step number 5 is to be tenacious. So step number 6 is going into the H, and that is to be watchful what you intake and hear. So, like I said, a lot of people will try to discourage you, and even without them trying to discourage you, because of things happening in your life, you're going to, like what I was saying with my jobs, it was very discouraging because I was really tired. I didn't want to be tired anymore. I was tired of losing sleep. I was getting like 2 to 3 hours a day. I didn't like it. It's not for the faint of heart, and I don't suggest it on anybody. But if you really, really, really want to make a change in your life, that's what you'll do. So, and that's what I was planning on dealing with. That's what I was doing. So, like I said, be careful what you hear. So a thing that I was trying to do just to kind of help with my motivation, I was listening to this motivational video from, not really from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Somebody created this video, and basically it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. And the reason why I chose Arnold Schwarzenegger, because, if you look at it, on paper, Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't supposed to work. One, his name is, honestly, is kind of ridiculous to American standards. How is that a Hollywood name? You know what I mean? So they love easy. If it's easier, let's do that. If your name is hard to pronounce, even spell, nah, we're not even. So he defied odds doing that. Also, he was from a different country, so he talked differently than Americans. So there was another hurdle he had to overcome to be a Hollywood star. Like that's crazy. And with those two, him having a funny, not really, he doesn't have a funny act, but it's an accent that's foreign to us. And of course, a lot of people say that is funny. It's a funny accent. Funny accent, weird name, really. No, he wasn't even really the best actor when he first started. Kudos to him because he got better as time went on. But when he first started out, he wasn't really this huge actor or anything. He was just a dude. He was swole. So he used his talents to perfection to really excel him even further. So he planted the seeds, and he was able to use that for that to become something else. But anyway, I was listening to Arnold Schwarzenegger, his speech, and I happened to run across it, and I was just like, yo, like this is what I needed, So, and I was listening to it, and actually I think I found it. Yeah, the 6 rules of success. And I'm not going to play all of it. I'm going to play a little bit of it. Let me see if I can pull it up here. It's really good. Okay, so I'm going to pull up this video so y'all can see it, see what I'm looking at. All right. So here we go. So this is what I was listening to when I was at home.
People ask me all the time. They say to me, what is the secret to success? The first rule is trust yourself. But what is most important is that you have to dig deep down and ask yourselves, who do you want to be? Not what, but who. And I'm talking about not what your parents and teachers want you to be, but you. I'm talking about figuring out for yourselves what makes you happy, no matter how crazy it may sound to the people. So rule number one is, of course, trust yourself no matter how and what anyone else thinks. And of course, rule number two is break the rules.
Okay, so I'm gonna just stop sharing with it and exit out of that bit. But yeah, basically, I listen to that. I can't even tell you how many times I played this. I listened to this a lot of times because there was a lot of times I just wanted to quit. I wanted to give up, and because he was a Hollywood star, and like I said on paper, that it wasn't supposed to work. He wasn't supposed to work, but he did. And he overcame all these different things. They were like, oh, you know, the way that you talk, you know, you can't be a leading man in Hollywood. But he became one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood, blockbuster movies. He was making, you know, from this guy that talked like he talked, and he had this long, weird name that Americans don't really know how to spell. He became this icon. You know, he was bigger. He became bigger than life. And even after all of that, he went from that because people told him, no, you have to think about the stuff that people were telling him. There's no way you can make it. You're trying to make it in Hollywood? No. Of course. Yeah, you can probably be some buff guy in the background, but you can't be this person who's a leading star. No. And he did it anyway. You know, and then from that, he ended up becoming the governor of California. They said he couldn't do that, and he did it. I think the only thing they stopped him on was trying to become president. That was the only thing that they can kind of fix, because he wasn't born here. He's not a natural born citizen. But I mean, just that in itself is amazing, because I had those some voices in my head like, man, what are you doing? You know, like, you probably won't be able to do that. And even people telling me like, you know, well, you're probably not going to succeed. So, you know, you're going to be sitting there moving back and blah, 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 blah. You know, all this stuff, all this negativity that people would say. So when I was by myself, you know, getting up, and I was like, oh God, man, alarm was going off. I'm like, damn, man, I don't feel like getting up. I just won't go ahead. And I'm like, I need some kind of motivation, something. So in the dead of night, I think sometimes when I used to get off early at FedEx, I would be able to go back to my apartment and nap for like 30 minutes to an hour. The alarm would go off so that I would have to get up and go to Fox news station. I was just like, oh God, like, I don't want to do this, man. And because I was like, my body is just screaming, like, I need sleep. You know, it's like, what are you doing? I had to set like 3, 4, 5 alarms, because there's sometimes I would sleep through all my alarms. My body would just like, nope, shut down. So I had to set like multiple alarms. The analog alarm where it go out, even my phone alarm, so that would go off. So just to make sure I was up. And as I was pushing through bodies aching, I would turn on that video, so that way I can hear something positive. I can hear something that's telling me to keep going, to keep moving, keep pushing. Because you can only tell yourself there's so much, but you have to start intaking things that help you to get to where you're trying to go. So start being around more positive people. Try to set yourself around positive people. You're going to have negative people around you saying this stuff, but you're going to have to learn how to tune that out. They're going to say that because their vision of you is already only so much. They can only see for you so far, but they don't know what your vision is. Your vision is all the way out there. That's what your vision. Your vision is across the pond, all the way across the lake. And their vision of you is up to the lake, where the lake starts. And it's just like, because that's as far as I can go, so that's as far as you can go. And it's like, no, I can go further than that, because I dare to dream further than that. And that's what you have to do. You have to be your biggest fan. You have to try your best and follow these steps, the growth steps. And I do apologize. I know I did skip that one step. There was step number 4 is to have a strong will. But I mean, also that ties into being tenacious. So they're coupled together. So really, I didn't skip a step. I skipped a step, but I didn't skip a step. So step number 1, set a goal. Step number 2, research and study your field, and just study as much as you can. Try to learn as much as you can about whatever it is you're trying to do. And also another thing I forgot to mention, that I also plan for things like what could happen that could potentially mess me up. What could happen? what if my car stops? What if I had to cough up like $2,000, $3,000 for whatever reason? So I had this large amount of money just in case I had to cough up a good portion of it, which I did. I had to end up buying a new car that wasn't in my plan, not the new car thing. But since I had that much cushion, I was able to be like, okay, I can give up $3,000 so that I can get a new car, because my folks weren't gonna let me drive on that old car. The old car wouldn't have made it, so they were right, which I'm glad that they did say that. So yeah, so study your field and just be prepared. Come up with scenarios. What if this happens? And come up with a plan to combat that, to counter that scenario. And that's what I did. Okay, what if this happens? What if I don't get this job? Okay, then I have this job lined up. What if I don't get that job? Then I have this job lined up. I had like 3 or 4 jobs, well, 3 jobs on the sidelines, just in case I couldn't get this main job. And then outside of that, I was like, if I don't get any of these jobs, I'm just going to work at McDonald's, or I'm going to work at Ralph's. Because I know a lot of people, when they try to, they're not getting a job they want, I ain't going to work at McDonald's. I ain't going to, like, look, man, I'm trying to make it. So if I need to work at McDonald's, I'll work at McDonald's. I don't care. As long as I'm still living out here, as long as I'm working, I'm going to make it happen. I ain't going to be there forever, though. I'll work until I get my, best believe, when I come through that door, as soon as I step foot in the door, I'll be looking for another job, because I'm not going to stay there forever. But at the same time, you got to do what you got to do if you're trying to get to where you're trying to go. I ain't trying to say sell your body or anything, but, stuff that people typically look down on, like certain jobs like McDonald's or, I don't know, washing cars or something like that. Hey, do what you need to do. Like, you're the one that's going to make it, not them, because they're too bougie to do stuff. Step number 3, create and organize your steps to ensure that they happen and that you're accomplishing them. So make sure that you stay organized, that you have your goals. Even to this day, I have goals listed out. Like, okay, what am I going to, did I do this today? Yep. Did I do that today? Yep. Oh, I didn't do that yet. I need to do this. So that way I knock out all my goals. So that way I'm feeling productive. And I probably got that from my dad, because he used to do it. Yeah. Number 4, which ties into number 5, step number 4, have a strong will. Have a strong will. Step number 5, follow through. Don't quit. Be tenacious. And that ties into having a strong will. You have to push, because people are going to sit there and say stuff that's going to discourage you. You're going to get tired. You're going to get exhausted. You're going to get discouraged. And it might not even be other people. It might just be just you, just in your mind. You're sitting in your own mind. You're sitting with yourself and you're thinking about all this stuff. And because you're not there yet, the task seems bigger than what it really is. And you're starting to doubt yourself. Keep pushing. Be tenacious. Push regardless. Because it's going to be better in the end. I promise you. Number 6, and the 6th step is be watchful of what you intake and hear. Be sure to listen to positive messages. Follow positive people. Watch positive videos for motivation. Whatever you need to do. Download a positive podcast. I don't care. Listen to something that helps you, pushes you to be more motivated and to go after your goals and dreams. Something that can help you, give you that extra boost. That extra urge to keep going, to not quit. So I hope that this helped. Growth. Remember growth. 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 And actually, I'll share with you what I have. If you want to take a screenshot of this, you can. That's fine. I'll show you my growth list. So here we go. There it is. Growth. Step number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you need to screenshot that or take a picture with your phone, please feel free. Feel free to do that. But other than that, thank you so much for tuning in. For everybody that's made it this far, thank you. I'm going to add into this as I added in with others. If you do have a business, let's try to help support one another. If you have a business that you want people to support you on, put it in the comments so that way people can see it. And at least, let's just have at least 1 or 2 people help this person out with whatever business they have, whether it's buying a product, or leaving a review, leaving a rating, or whatever. And, y'all do it. I'll put my stuff in there too, because I have my own business. But so let's do that. Let's do that. Also, if you want to follow me, you can follow me Instagram, Twitter, at JT Slimcutta, JTSLIMCUTTA. Again, that's JTSLIM, M as in Mary, CUTTA. JT Slimcutta. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. You can also follow me on Facebook and YouTube at John F. Thomas. Just type in John F. F is in Frank Thomas. Follow me on there. If you want to send me a message, you got any questions, feel free to do that. I'll respond back and I'll help, as much as I can. I'm not going to do the job for you, but I'll help encourage you. And if you need even some more inspiration, I'm here for you. So, like I said, we're in this journey together. We're not here by ourselves. I'm so glad that you're here with me. I think my friend's call. I'm going to answer this phone call. I'll see y'all later. And thanks for tuning in to Fly Nubian KingsTV.com. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.